In a world of oddity, meet the lineage family with 6 digits on their hands and 7 on their toes. A family that has accepted and appreciated polydactyly as a normalcy rather as a mischance. Join me, Jael Wangwe, as I venture you into the world of polydactyly family.
Kwa majina naitwa Linet Luandwa, hospitali ya Mailini.
Linet explains how she ended in this condition.
Sasa kuja kwa upande ya maumbile, walizaliwa hivyo na ilitoka kwa kina mama.
I consulted one of the counselors from Ampath. Jen Arona explains the condition.
When you look at the condition, it is something that comes from a certain either it's what the causes of this kind of condition or impairment is mostly hereditary. You'll find that in the lineage of in the family lineage, you'll find that if a patient has this condition, probably somebody in the family also had the same, so it is hereditary.
Mama yangu penye alizaliwa baba yake alikuwa hivyo, mama yangu tena kazaliwa hivyo, ndugu zake watatu wakazaliwa hivyo, nami tena akanizaa hivyo, tena na dada tena mwenye anakaa hivyo, kuna ndugu mwenye anakaa hivyo, nami pia nimezaa tena watoto hivyo, watoto watatu, kwa mguu vidole 7, kwa mkono vidole 6.
Polydactylity, this is a condition where a person has more than 5 fingers or toes.
The counselor explains the condition, whether it is a disease or impairment.
Name poly is a Greek word meaning numerous or many, and dactyly is a Greek term for fingers or digits. So when you combine those two, poly and dactyly is it brings the meaning of numerous fingers or numerous toes. It's a physical impairment.
Was also able to ask a doctor if it is hereditary.
The genes in both parents interfere with the normal way the structures or parts of the body are supposed to develop. Every one of us has a genetic code which we call the DNA, and the DNA, if you look at it, is a genetic material, and that genetic material has strands. So every portion of the DNA is responsible for specific characteristics of how the body develops. The normal height is there. Then we have the less than normal, and then the more than normal. So if in every couple we are supposed to have some characteristics have a recessive and a dominant. So the mother can have a recessive and a dominant. Then the father has both genes dominant. In that case, that means we have, out of the 4 portions, we have 2 which are dominant from the father and 1 from the mother. They become 3. Now when these genes cross each other because of reproduction, that means out of 4 offsprings, 3 of those offsprings will develop the characteristics of the dominant gene. So that means now we have 3 out of 4 that these children will manifest a characteristic that is more or less of the father. Now, so that means out of 4, there is a chance that 3 out of those 4 will be with a dominant gene, and 1 will have a recessive gene and a dominant gene like the mother. Now in this case, it appears like since the number of children out of 7, 2 are not.
He also explained the possible causes for the condition.
The condition can be caused by a number of things, but just to narrow down on the specifics, this is an area where the genes in both parents interfere with the normal way the structures or parts of the body are supposed to develop.
Lynette goes on explaining to us the challenges that she faces.
Sasa watu huwa wanasemanga sisi wanadamu wa kawaida hatubebe tupeleke museum. Hata watu wazima wanatutenganga, wanachekeleanga sana. Wengine wanatengwanga hata kucheza tarakini. Nawaambia mtatuambukiza vidole mingi. Hata shuleni wanatengwa.
Counselor Jen also explained the reasons as to why they could come across those challenges, and also explained the challenges that people with polydactyly face.
When somebody grows with this condition to adulthood, they might experience difficulty because depending on their social circumstances, they might not be able to afford this kind of medication or treatment that would help them to cope in their daily lives or their daily living. And this is where rejection comes in, or societal stigmatization, or you'll find that they cannot cope well with the society, or even themselves, they will have a problem because they will start identifying and looking around and figuring out that they are different from other people or other kids that are growing with them. So that is where the challenge comes in with this condition of polydactyly. So as a person with this condition, or as a person living with polydactyly, rejection comes in various ways. And one may experience rejection in the physical environment. You can find that the physical environment is not suitable for you to function in your daily, for you to partake of your daily functions. So the physical environment could be, especially for people with impairments and disability, you'll find that the society is structured in a certain way that does not accommodate everybody, and it does not accommodate everybody with impairments such as polydactyly. So you'll find that in your physical environment there are objects or tools or things that become a problem. For example, even handling as something as simple as a pen when a child like this is in school can be a problem, because the regular child will just hold a pen normally, but a child that has polydactyly will struggle to use something like a pen. So you will find that in the physical environment there are no structures that are probably modified to suit these kind of conditions.
Dr. Wanakacha was able to explain if the condition is treatable.
Corrective surgery can be done. There are those that may be done even below here, depending on the type of condition, because we have specialties we call the occupational therapists. Once a child is born, if the leg is tilting this way and is supposed to go straight, at this age, that is the best time to correct, so that they have certain kind of appendages fitted on their, for example, legs. And also, after the child is born, for example, if it's an extra digit, there is a way they can surgically tie an extra digit and deny blood supply and food to that appendage. So eventually it just falls off because there is no food, there is no oxygen, so it just dies. But for those who have reached here, now you can't use that method. What you do is now you just go to theater, you do an amputation of that extra digit, and then you seal it properly in a cosmetic way, and then now you rehabilitate that person so that if he was walking in a particular way, now he has to walk in a normal way without the extra digit, if it is a shoe or whatever it is.
The cancer also explained on how we can live with these people affected with polydactyly condition, and those who are affected with the condition can overcome the challenge.
First point of healing, we always say, is acceptance. Before you heal, before you go to the point where you are okay, you are whole as a person, you have to accept the nature and you have to embrace yourself as you are. So when you accept yourself, when you are this person or this child or even the people that have this condition of polydactyly, or when you accept yourself that this is who you are and this is a medical condition that you did not impose in yourself, then that is the first point of healing. So it is good to have that courage to accept yourself as you are, and to know that this is who you are and you did not choose this, even be a bad thing, when you are able to accept it. If somebody rejects you, you should be able to know that this person is rejecting me probably because they do not know that this is a medical condition, or they are naive and they have never seen such a thing. So when you are actually expecting that rejection, when somebody rejects you, it becomes easier to deal with it because you are already expecting it. So when you are expecting to be rejected, then you will have the right coping mechanisms. You will know how to self-assure yourself. You will know how to approach these people in a kind manner. You will know how to give them a feedback that is appropriate to them. Because you'll find that somebody rejects you out of the point of ignorance. Somebody can reject you out of the point of naivety. Somebody can reject you out of the point of they also are suffering in their way and they are projecting that to you. So when you know this, that rejection might happen to you, especially when you are put in a new environment. For example, if you are a school-going child with this condition and the school environment is totally new, be mentally prepared that some children are going to laugh at you. But when you know that they are going to laugh at you, you will also know that they will laugh at you because they do not know that this thing is a medical condition and it can affect anybody. So you'll find that when you are prepared that these people are going to act in a certain way, then it will give you that mental stability to also reassure yourself and affirm yourself, and also be able to give these people a positive feedback. Because when they reject you and you are aware that they are going to do this to you, you can even offer them the education, you can even offer them the information that they lack, because so many people in the society do not have this knowledge.
Sasa mimi watoto hata wakiniambia na waambianga tu, hii ni maumbile ya Mungu na Mungu ana sababu mbona kaumba hivyo, maana mimi ni wanadamu kama hao. Sasa ningependa kuambia wenzangu, sisi ni wanadamu, tusitutenge, maana Mungu mwenye aliwaumba ndiye alituumba.
The big question is, do our government really care about those people living with polydactyly condition? Are they getting support the same way the disabled get?
So ninaomba kama tuna mtu yeyote ambaye anaweza simama na hii familia, hakika inahitaji msaada, hii familia inahitaji msaada katika hali ya kutengwa, katika hali mama anakaa katika upweke, anakaa katika hali ya kutengwa. Watoto hata wanashindwa kucheza na wenzao sababu wanatengwa na wanacheka. Tunaomba msaidizi yetu yote ambaye anazaona condition kama hii, asimame na familia, asaidie mama.
These are questions that Lynette and others living with the condition are waiting for answers. On today's medical impairment, I'm Wangwe, Jael.